Hello, Asta.
Hi, sir.
And today, Ovi and the other guy, they are not joining. Not sure about Jyotiraditya. So we will wait for him. Yes, he is in. Okay, so we can start actually as soon as Jyotiraditya joins. So yesterday we were learning about the check. Correct, kids? So now, can you see the screen by the way, Asta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jyotiraditya, are you in? Can you see the screen? Jyotiraditya, can you hear me? Sorry, Vikramaditya. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. So I get confused actually when you put the name. Let me change it just for my information. Okay, yeah. So can you see the screen? You said yes. Okay. So kids, yesterday we were discussing about check. What is check? Check means giving a threat to the king. Okay, now in this example, the rook, white rook, is giving threat to the black king. Correct? So this is called as check. What we say, the black king is under check from the white rook. Is this clear, kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me go to the next one. Now, if you look at this one, kids, okay, the rook which is at E1, okay, if I need to give check to the king which is at G7, there are two ways I can give the check. One is I can bring the rook to G1 so that I will be able to give check to the king. So is the case, I can bring the rook to E7 and I can give the check. Okay, so generally when you give check, you should keep yourself away from the rook, away from the king. Okay, now in this case, if you take this option, immediately the rook king will come either here or here and try to attack on the rook. Correct? Whereas if you give the check from here, the king will not be able to directly come here and attack on your rook. Correct? So it depends on the board situation. But if you see, there are multiple ways to give check to the king. Okay, there can be more than one ways. Okay, this is what we learn from this example. Is this clear, kids? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Asta? Clear,
Sir,
no question.
when you say to be far away from the king,
Mhm.
then do we need to be as far as 1 square distance?
Yes, as far as possible, stay away. Okay, I mean, if you have two choices here, then I will choose this choice and I will not choose this choice. Okay, why? Because otherwise my rook will immediately get attacked from the king. And if I give check from here, the king will not be able to attack on my rook immediately. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, can you see, kids, here? A small pawn, even a small pawn, can also give threat to the opponent king. Okay, because pawn can capture any piece diagonally opposite one square. Correct? So you can give the check. However, because the king can move easily, king can come here or king can go here, king can go here. There are multiple ways for the king. King cannot come here, king cannot capture the pawn, king cannot come here because our king is protecting these 3 squares. Correct? But long story short, even a small pawn can also give check to the opponent king. Is this clear, kids? Next. Now, bishop. Okay, as I said yesterday, as I told, every piece, each and every piece except that of a king can deliver a check to the opponent king. Okay, now what is the benefit of bishop? Bishop can give check from the long distance. Can you see? It's a diagonal, right? And because you know that bishop can go diagonal, right? So the bishop is now giving a check. I am just showing you various ways how can you give check, kids. Okay. Any questions about this? Okay, in this case as well. Yes, Asta.
Sir, what is a diagonal?
Diagonal means this line actually. There are 2 ways, right? Horizontal, I mean vertical, horizontal. Okay, and the one which goes like this. Okay, sliding, slanting line that we call, right? That is nothing but a diagonal. Okay. Now say for example, in this case, this is also one diagonal. Okay, or this is another diagonal. Correct? Or for this bishop, this is one diagonal, this is another diagonal. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one. Vikramaditya, if you have any questions, you can also talk. Okay. Knight, can the knight give check, kids? Yes, even the knights can also give check. Can you see here? 1, 2, 2.5. There is a check to the king. Okay, kids, what if the king comes here? Do we need to worry? Will he capture the knight? Why not?
No, sir, the king won't capture the knight because the knight that is on f5 is giving support to the knight that is on d4.
Correct. Both the knights are supporting to each other. Can you see? Both the knights are supporting to each other. So even if I move the king away here, okay, this king will not be able to capture this knight. Even if the king, black king comes here, he will not be able to capture this knight because both of them are supporting each other. Okay. So the knight can also give check. What about the queen? Can the queen give check, kids?
Yes, sir.
Yes, obviously. The queen can, there are more possibilities of queen giving check because as you see from here, how many squares the queen can go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
6,
8,
8,
9,
9,
10,
10,
11, 12, 13,
12, 13,
14, 15,
14,
16,
15, 16,
17, 18,
17,
19,
18, 19,
20,
20,
21,
21,
22, 23, 24.
24.
24 squares it is controlling. Okay. Now just because our king is here, otherwise 25, 26, 27. Correct? If
27.
king would not have been here, then 27 squares at one point of time the queen controls. Okay, that means what it means, out of 64 squares, the opponent king, okay, opponent king cannot come to the given 27 squares. He will have to find, oh, where is the way? Let me find it. Correct? He will have to run here and there. So it is more difficult for the opponent king if he is alone and we have the queen with us. So it becomes very easy for us to give check and checkmate. Okay. Anyways, we will see that, we will learn when the when we will talk about the checkmate. But for now, a queen can move in any different directions. Therefore, it has a lot of power. It can check the king along with the ranks or files like the rook or diagonals like the bishop. Okay. The way the rook can go horizontal and vertical, the queen can also go. And the way bishop can go diagonal, the queen can also go, right? So it is having more power as compared to all other pieces. The only limitation of queen is what, kids? Do you know? We already learned actually earlier. What is the limitation of queen? Queen cannot
Can't go
jump like a
2.5.
knight. Correct. It cannot go 2.5 like this. Correct. And just imagine if we would have given the power of knight as well to the queen, then
Oh,
like,
9 points plus 3, that's 11.
yes, 12
Not
points
11.
actually. Yeah. So it would have
12.
got the 12 points actually. But now, because it has that limitation, okay, but still there is a lot of power, right? Horizontal, vertical, then it
Diagonal.
goes diagonal as well like this. Okay. So because of that, now here you see the queen is giving check to the black king. Correct? Okay. Now enough about what we saw, kids. Then we saw that different pieces, be it a rook, say for example, the rook can give check like this. Then we saw the pawn is giving check, right? Then we saw the bishop can also give check diagonal, correct? The knight can give check at 2.5 distance, and the queen can give check horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, correct? So
Sir,
after this, yes, Asta.
knight can give check also and it can give support also.
Yes, yes. Every piece can give check as well as support. Okay. So let's go to the next one now, kids. Okay. Tell me here who is giving check to whom?
Queen and pawn. Queen
Is
and pawn are
is
giving.
the pawn giving check, kids?
No.
Where
I
the
don't
pawn is
think
going?
the pawn.
What
Yes,
is
the
this
pawn.
rank? What is this rank?
G2.
So what is the home square of white pawns? It is always in second rank, no? White pawns are always in second rank. Black pawns are always in 7th rank. So ये एक बात बताओ, अभी ये pawn इधर जा रहा है या इधर जा रहा है, बताओ?
The pawn is moving to the 8th rank, not to the
Correct.
first rank.
तो ये check है क्या, बताओ? Is this a check? No. pawn पीछे थोड़ी ना आता है कभी. Correct? वो तो आगे जा रहा है ना. Correct? तो ये समझना जरूरी है बच्चों आपको. ओके. तो कौन दे रहा है चेक? pawn नहीं दे रहा है, नाइट दे रहा है क्या, बताओ? 3.5 आता है क्या नाइट? नहीं आता है, राइट?
नाइट नहीं, नाइट E1 पे चेक दे रहा है.
हाँ, नाइट यहाँ पे आ सकता है, यहाँ पे आ सकता है. ओके. यहाँ पे आ सकता है, यहाँ पे आ सकता है, यहाँ पे आ सकता है और यहाँ पे आ सकता है. कौन दे रहा है फिर चेक? क्वीन. यस, द क्वीन इज गिविंग द चेक डायगोनली. करेक्ट. क्वीन इधर से दे सकती थी, क्वीन इधर से दे सकती थी, क्वीन इधर दे सकती थी, और इधर और इधर. करेक्ट. इनमें से यहाँ पे आ गया. So this is the check being given by the queen. Okay. Yes, Vikram.
You forgot the A6.
A6. Correct. It is coming to A6 as well, right?
Sir,
All the squares the queen is coming. Yes, Astha.
I was confused actually. The black king is normally in the 8 ranks. I thought it's at the home square only.
So because the queen was giving check, so it is just running here and there, right? That's why it came here now. Okay. So, okay, kids. Now next, find again which piece is giving check to the black king.
Rook.
Very good. The rook is giving vertically. Correct? Vikram, understood? The rook is giving check in this case, right? Okay. Next. Who is giving check?
Pawn supported by
Yes.
the king.
The pawn at e6 is giving check, which is supported by the king, which is at d5. And it is giving check at d7. Correct? Very good. What about this? Who is giving check?
Knight.
Yes, the knight, which is at
G8 knight.
g8, is giving check to the king.
H5.
Yes. Now, if you are black, what will you do, kids?
Can't move to.
The king to G7.
You cannot go here. You cannot go here. You are already blocked over here. Here.
Sir,
What will you do?
The H.
pawn at G5. Pawn at G5.
Correct. You will capture the pawn at g5.
Yes.
Okay. Now again, if you want to give check, what will you do, kids?
Rook, that is at G1. We can move at H1.
Okay, this is one way. Very good. What is another way to give check?
That the knight that is at G8, move it to F6.
Move it to F6 and give check. Very good. Very nice, Asta. What is another way to give check? Yes, go ahead, kids. Think and tell. What is another way to give check?
G4.
G4. What, rook? But that will not give check, right? If you bring the rook here, will that give check? You can bring it to G5, but then that will be a bad check because the king will capture your rook, correct? What else, kids?
Must be some.
There is one more way actually you need to think of. Do you want me to give hint?
Yes, sir.
First of all, at least 2 minutes think. You can find it actually, kids.
1. Bishop to F5.
F5 पे चेक कैसे देगा? You need to bring it here, right? You can give the check. Correct? But will the king capture your bishop?
No.
No. Why not? Because there is a support. Yes, the rook is supporting. Okay. Now, where will you go, kids? If you are black, what will you do now? Can you come here?
No.
The knight is. Can you capture this? No, the rook is.
No.
Can you come to any of these squares? No, again the rook is, right? So the only place is
H4.
this one, right? Now, can you give check, kids?
I can try. Let's see. G1 rook to G4.
Yes, G4 is one way to give check. Okay, but sometimes it is not necessary to always keep giving the checks, kids. Okay, now just remember, pay attention, kids. Okay, can the black king come here next move?
No.
No. Can the black king come here in the next move?
No.
Can the black king come here in the next move?
No.
Can the black king come here in the next move?
No.
Which is the only place where the king can come?
H3.
H3, right? So what we will do, we will just wait for a while and bring our knight here. Okay, this is called as waiting move. I'm just waiting. Okay, now I know that king will come here only. There is no other way for the king to go. Okay, now as soon as the king comes in front of the rook, I mean the king, this is called as opposition, correct? Both of them cannot come to these squares, correct? This we already learned, kids, right? Both kings must keep one square distance between them, right? Now tell me, from where will you give check so that the black king will be checkmate?
Sir, G6 bishop to F5.
G6 bishop to F5 will only give the check, but in that case the king will come here, right? That will not be a checkmate. Yes, check is correct. You are giving check is correct, no doubt. But what is another way to give check? The rook. Can we give check from here?
Yes.
And now is it a checkmate, kids? Where the king will go? Tell me.
The king will go to
Nowhere, right? There is no
going
place
here.
now. It cannot come here, correct? Because the king
Both
is
kings can't go to G2, G3, and G4.
correct. So the king cannot come here. And this entire H file is blocked by our rook. So the king can even not go here or here. So this situation is called as checkmate.
Sir,
Understood? Yes,
sir,
Asta.
that file vertically and horizontally both is covered by the rook, right?
Yes. But we don't need to talk about this because the king cannot jump and come here, right? Correct.
That's a little.
That's the reason I just talked about this H file. Okay. So what we learned from these kids, you are giving a check. Okay. He will capture, no doubt. But then we will just push the king further here. Then we will play the waiting move. The king again comes here and we will deliver the checkmate. Correct. It was that simple. But then for that, we need to understand that after this capture, there is a check coming in from the bishop. Okay, there was check coming from the knight as well, correct? Or there was check coming from the rook as well. But why we chose to give from the bishop? Because as I said, when it captures and we give check, there is no way for the king to but to come here. Okay. Then again we play waiting move. There is no way for the king but to come here because king cannot come here, king cannot come here, king cannot come here. King cannot stay there, right? Because it was here, right? So you cannot say, okay, I am pass. I don't want to go anywhere. Can you say like this? No, you don't have that choice. It is compulsory to make the move. Okay. That's why the king cannot say that, okay, no, let me stay here only. Okay. Just imagine if we had that opportunity, kids. Okay. So what he will say, okay, I am pass, I don't want to play. Then you will not be able to checkmate him. Right? Because if you give the check now from here, it will go here. And in the next turn, it will capture either of them. Correct? That is the reason the rules are very important. You cannot say pass. You have no choice but to come here. And as soon as you come here, I will give you checkmate.
Sir,
Yes, Asta?
when the king is at h3, then the king is at then the king can move to the square g4, g3, and g2, right?
Correct. It cannot come here.
Sir,
Yes, Vikramaditya.
my grandfather always do that. When I am going to get checkmate, he says no. I don't want to play now.
When you are getting checkmated or when he is getting checkmated?
When I am getting checkmated.
Ah, okay. So you should resign actually. Why he resigns? When somebody says I don't want to play, it means he is resigning and you are winning. Okay. But no, ideally we should not resign, kids. Okay. Resign means quitting the game. Okay, which is not good. You need to complete the game. Whether you are winning or losing, it's a different matter. But always complete the game. Correct? Do you say that, okay, I don't like this homework, let me not do that, and you keep the homework incomplete? Will that work, kids?
No.
No. Teacher will not allow that, right? Otherwise, you will not get the full marks for homeworks, right? Right? So is the case, you need to complete the game as well. Okay. Anyways, let's come back. Let's go to the next one, kids. Oh, who is giving check now? And to whom? And to whom?
The pawn is giving check to the king that is at g2.
Correct. Now remember, kids, this pawn actually came from here, right? From h7 till here, and now it is going to downward, right? So there is a check from the pawn. Very nice. Which piece is giving check then? Is the bishop giving check, kids? No. Is the rook giving check? No.
The
Is
rook
the
is giving support.
knight
not
giving
check.
check? No.
No.
Is the queen giving check? No.
No.
But then these pieces are anyways blocking the king, right? So king cannot capture the pawn. King cannot come here. King can come here actually. Yes, king can come here or here, but and here. Yes, only 3 places. Otherwise, king cannot come here. King cannot come here, and king cannot come here. Right? Suppose the king comes here. What will be your next move, kids?
Next move. Okay. Next move. D1 knight to E2.
D1 to
To
E2,
F2. F2.
F2. Okay, you will
F2.
give check. Okay, it will come here. Then
The rook that is at
A3.
A3 will move to A1.
Are you sure? Because if you bring it here, I will capture your knight.
That is a problem.
So do you think you should play there? Or in fact, do you think you should give check with the knight? Can you think something else?
I can think.
What will you from the
Sir,
right?
the queen that is at h7 will move to e4.
Why will you move the king?
Not king, queen.
Okay, queen will come where? E4. Okay.
E4.
Okay, good. So you are giving check. Okay, it comes here then. Now what will you play?
A3, knight to g3.
Knight cannot come to g3. Are you seeing rook? Okay. It seems Asta got dropped. Hmm. Okay, no worries. So let's wait if Asta is coming back. Okay, you can think of Vikramaditya. What will you play if you are black?
I will come knight. I mean the queen to f. No, e3.
E3, and you will give check from here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the other way to give check with the queen only? Can you give check
can-
with the queen from some other place as well?
Yes.
From where?
Queen to e1.
Very nice. You can bring the queen to e1 and give check from there as well. Okay, what is the other way to give check with the help of queen only?
Queen to g4.
Okay, queen to g4 is also giving check. Very nice. What is another way for the queen to give check to the king?
Queen to g2.
Yes, very nice. So we saw the queen can give check from e3. The queen can give check from e1. The queen can give check from g4, and the queen can give check from g2 as well. Okay, so 4 checks from the queen. Okay, what about other pieces, kids? Who else can give check? Tell me. Which other
Sir,
piece can give check?
sir,
Yes, Astha.
I was actually disconnected.
Yes, I saw that actually. No issues. I have asked the question, what all pieces can give the check to the king in this board position?
Queen can give check, sir.
Queen can give check from where, Asta?
Queen e4, queen by moving to e1.
E1. Okay, one way. What is another way? Vikramaditya, you can think of other pieces. How are they giving check? Okay.
E4 queen, she can move to g4.
G4. Okay, this is another way to give check. Very good. What else?
Queen can give check in these many ways only.
No, there is one more way. Two more ways actually. Sorry. There are two more ways the queen can give check. In fact, there are more than two ways actually. There are three more ways, four more ways. Oh my goodness. Yes, four more ways to give check. You can think of. Tell me one thing. Can the queen give check from here?
Yes.
Very good. This is one way. Remaining three ways, you find it now, Asta. The way I moved diagonally like this, where else the queen can go? Can it come here and give check?
Yes.
Can
It
it
can
come
come there
here
and
and give check?
it can come. Sir, E4 queen, you can also move it to E3.
Yes, you can give check from here as well. Right? So these are the different ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways. Only one queen to the same king in the same board position, it can give check from 6 different places. So which one will you choose, kids? That is my question. And not only queen, the pawn can give check. If you bring the pawn here, the pawn can give check.
Rook can give check.
The bishop can give check. The rook can give check, right? That means there
Knight
are
can't give
minimum
check.
9 checks. You have the entire checkbook with you, right? You can give 9 checks. Now, which one is good?
Impossible.
Which is better for you? How will you think? Now, I shown you the 9 different checks, kids. Okay. Tell me which one will you give? Will you give check with the pawn? Will you give check with the rook? Will you give check with the bishop? Will you give check with the queen? If yes, with the queen, then from where? From here, from here, from here, from here, or from here? Where?
I'm getting confused in all the lines.
So you need to think, kids. Okay, think of it
Sir,
and tell me the answer. Yes, Vikramaditya.
we can give check from the pawn and the queen.
How? From where?
Sir,
Hmm?
we can give the check by moving E4 queen to G6.
G6. But that is of no use actually. If you give the check from here, tell me where the king will go.
Nowhere.
It's a checkmate, right? You win the game. So among 9 checks, there was only one which could deliver the checkmate. That you need to identify, kids. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yes,
So
sir.
here we
But
saw
what?
different ways of giving check, kids. Okay. Different ways, that is pawn can give check, bishop can give check, knight can give check, rook can give check, queen can give check. But then which one you should decide? You need to think and decide, kids. Okay. Where you get the checkmate. Okay, kids. So we will stop here for today. Asta, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. If you are giving check by moving the queen to G2,